Hi, and welcome back to the Anatomy of Synergy. In the last video, we learned about Boolean data and using Boolean operators to manipulate that data. Now that we've covered common data types in traditional synergy, we'll take a look at how to move between different data types. Let's get started. First, let's see what happens when we move data to a numeric field, such as an integer, decimal, or implied decimal field. You can freely move numeric data between the different numeric data types. For example, if you assign a decimal value to an integer field, the value will automatically be converted to an integer. As mentioned in previous videos, you should make sure that the destination field is big enough to store the numeric value, or else some data may be lost. Likewise, the precision of an implied decimal value will be lost if it's assigned to a decimal or an integer field. But in general, you can assign any numeric values to any numeric field without any special steps. You can also assign a string value to a numeric field, as long as the string only contains a number. In addition to digits, the string value can contain spaces, a plus or minus sign, and a single decimal point. But if it contains any other characters, the runtime will throw a bad digit encountered error. We'll discuss how to handle errors like this with error trapping in another video. Synergy also provides some other ways to assign a string value to a numeric destination. For example, the hat_d function casts data as a decimal or implied decimal value, and optionally allows you to specify the precision. hat_i accesses data as an integer and can allow you to get the integer value of an ASCII character. hat_b can convert a binary string of ones and zeros into an equivalent integer. And hat_x can do the same for a hexadecimal string. Note that hat_d and hat_i don't make any changes to the data, but merely access it as a different data type. We've seen how we can move different types of data to a numeric destination. But what if we want to use an alpha or string destination? You can easily move string data between alpha and string variables. Just remember that alpha fields have a fixed size, while string fields are dynamic. For this reason, you should make sure that an alpha field is large enough to hold a given string value, or some data may be lost. On the other hand, an alpha field can have padding spaces if the data isn't long enough to fill the field. If you assign a value from an alpha field to a string variable, the string may contain unnecessary spaces. You can avoid this by using the atrim or atrim_to_string functions, which trim off any trailing spaces. Atrim can also be useful if you want to concatenate multiple alpha values. Otherwise, the extra spaces might get in the way. If you try to assign a numeric value to a string field, the value will automatically be converted into the equivalent string. The same thing will happen if you try to assign a numeric value to an alpha field, except that string will be right justified in the field by default. When assigning a numeric value to an alpha field, you can also specify a format string to designate how the number will appear. This can be useful if you want to display a phone number or a price, for example. Format strings can't be used directly when assigning a numeric value to a string field, but they can be used inside of a string function. The string function converts an input value to a string, optionally using a format string to specify the format of a number. It can be helpful if you want to insert a numeric value into a longer string. While you can assign a single numeric value to an alpha or string field without any explicit conversion, you'll get an error if you try to concatenate a string with a number. But if you explicitly convert a number to a string, you can easily concatenate it with other strings. In this video, we've covered assigning different values to numeric fields, assigning alpha values to string fields and vice versa, assigning numeric values to alpha and string fields, optionally using format strings, and using the string function. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the rest of our channel for other useful videos.